What's going on, gardeners? On today's 2-minute garden tip, I'm going to show you how to install instant drip irrigation, and it is so cheap and easy. After 3 weeks of torrential rain, we now have had 2 weeks of crippling drought. It is so hot and dry now, everything in the yard and garden is drying up and desperately needs irrigation. If you don't already have drip irrigation installed to all of these different plants, watering all this manually in this heat would be a miserable task, but luckily there is a very simple solution. Sprinkler hose. These hoses were popular generations ago before mechanical sprinklers were affordable and common. They have holes equidistantly drilled in it, and when you fill them with water, they oscillate back and forth and they overhead irrigate your lawn just like an oscillating sprinkler. But when you take these sprinkler hoses and you turn them upside down so the drilled holes are pressing against the ground, they act like drip irrigation. If you're interested in purchasing these exact hoses or any other equipment that I'm featuring in this video, I will place direct links to all of it down in the video description for your convenience. All you have to do is unroll the sprinkler hose so it is centered roughly in the root area of your trees or your garden beds or whatever you are trying to irrigate, and then flip the hose upside down and secure it in place with some of the included landscape staples, or get yourself some additional landscape staples so you can secure it nice and tightly. Then run a standard garden hose as a lead-in hose to feed the sprinkler hoses. I decided to buy a 2-pack of the sprinkler hoses because I wanted to irrigate fruit trees in 2 different directions, so I am connecting them with a simple Y splitter. That way I can irrigate all of my fruit trees at once. Then simply turn on the water. The end result is completely seamless drip irrigation installed in minutes with no fancy tools, no complicated designs, and it works fantastic. All of that water slowly drips into a single spot, so it is concentrated and deep watering, just like real drip irrigation. My fig trees are not enjoying this hot, dry weather at all, so I made sure to install one of those 50-foot sprinkler hoses behind these trees. You can see it and hear it in action right here, watering deeply into the ground. And then underneath these fig trees right here, you can see the other 50-foot sprinkler hose that I just unrolled on video. So there you go. In less than 5 minutes, I have drip irrigation installed to all of my fig trees that you see right here. And what's nice about this sprinkler hose is it is much more consistent than soaker hose, which exhausts all of its water in front. So here you can see a very aggressive flow at the start of the hose where it's fed, but all the way down here at the far end, we are still getting great flow. Look at all of that water pressure coming out of there, and we are a solid 40+ feet from where the hose is being fed all the way over there. And while I love using these sprinkler hoses to run to my fruit trees in times of drought, you can also install them in your garden rows as well, whether you use a raised bed garden and you snake it in and out of the rows, or you have an earth garden and you can just unroll them in long straight rows. That would probably work even better. If you install them in your garden, you may find that the flow coming out of the drip holes is a little bit strong. If that is the case, just don't turn on your faucet the whole way, or you can bury the sprinkler hoses under several inches of mulch. That will prevent any kind of splashing, and it will actually preserve the life of the hose when you bury it under mulch, because then it won't be sitting in the sun, which will decay it and degrade it over time. As for how long to run the hoses, that depends on your soil and what you are growing. You are going to probably have to figure that out. For raised bed gardens, you probably will need to run them anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. For my fruit trees, I like to run them for probably about an hour or 2 to guarantee very deep penetration of the water into the soil. And that's today's 2-minute garden tip.
If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell to receive new video notifications, and check out our Amazon storefront and spread shop in the video description for a list of the gardening products I use and awesome custom designed apparel and other gear. Your support is greatly appreciated.